Hello friends, I am joining in on Junk Journal January. It is hosted by Meg's Journals and it is in collaboration with Get Messy Art. I will link Meg's Journals in my description box as well as Get Messy Art's information. So I whipped together this journal last night. All of the materials were sent to me by a lovely lady named Thelma. We did a swap, it's got to be over a year ago, and it was a journal swap, and it was like one of those things where somebody sends you materials and then you create a journal, but you send the journal to somebody different than who sent you the materials, and it was so much fun to do it. Well, lovely Thelma sent me 2 containers with materials. I got to make a journal for the recipient, and then I also had stuff so that I could make one for myself, which I thought was so generous. Before I create my first spread for this journal, I want to go ahead and glue this flap down and then also partially glue the other one down so that I have a pocket. And then on this page, the same thing, just gluing one side to create a pocket. There is a prompt for each day of the week, and January 1st prompt is resolutions. Now, this is my first time joining in on Junk Journal January. This is the 5th year, I believe. And basically, what I've seen going on is people do their layout for their journal according to what the prompt means to them. I've grabbed this piece of ephemera. This was given to me in Happy Mail. It's really beautiful. I love it. And I'm just going around the edges just to sort of give it a little distressing or a little bit of a pop once I put it on the page. Once I get it glued onto the page, I will explain to you why I chose this particular image. It certainly is not required to cut the words out and use them in your journal, but I'm going to on this first one because I feel like it fits. On this tag, I'm writing about one of my resolutions, which is to be more mindful. And I am going to be doing a weekly journal session on my channel about mindfulness. So I thought that would be a good one to put in this journal. I never did tell you why I chose the image of the blue flowers, but I'm going to share that with you now. So I chose the image of the blue flowers because we often hear the saying, stop and smell the roses. Well, being mindful is just that. It's about being present in your current moment. And so I chose the flowers because for me, that represents mindfulness. And so I'm writing on that piece of ephemera, stop, look, smell. And that, if you just stop what you're doing, stop where you're going, you look around, and you use one of your senses to take it in, I think that really places you in the present moment. And I think that is truly being mindful. Now to just dress the page up a little bit more, I'm going to cut this fabric swatch and I'm going to place a piece of that on the pocket. Of course, the typical fashion of a junk journaler is to add more. So we are taking a piece of napkin and I am gluing that down. So that's going to add our next layer. And then I found this, what do you call that, like slide card. And I want to go ahead and adhere that on there as well. But as I'm looking at this, I realize I need something extra. So I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of floral fabric. Now I feel like I can put this picture slide in. Before I do, to make sure that it will adhere properly, I'm going to grab my sandpaper and I'm going to scratch up the edges, and that way the glue will have a way to adhere to it properly. I feel like it needs a finishing touch, so I have this little tiny gold piece. I believe it was a bead cap actually, and I'm going to go ahead and add that, and then I feel like this spread is complete. Thank you for joining me for Junk Journal January. Please go check out the other collaborators, one of which is my friend Carol at Recrafted by Carol. Thanks for watching. See you soon.